Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. And this article I have from a Ukrainian source, and it's always good to look over these sources because you can find how big the lies are. It's easier than to find how big the lies are on the other side. So let's see what's going on over here. This article comes from Ukrainska Pravda from September 19th, 2022. Russian soldiers caught between Ukraine's armed forces and the right bank of Dnipro River, and they seek ways to surrender, according to Operational Command Pivden South. Now let's see how these guys are telling us what's going on over there. Russian units in southern Ukraine are trapped between the Ukrainian army and the right bank of the Dnipro River. This is where probably they bombed the bridges across the Dnipro River. The problem is when the Ukrainians get there, how are they going to cross? Well, anyway, so some of the Russian occupiers' commanders are trying to get in touch with representatives of the Ukrainian armed forces to lay down their arms and surrender. Natalia Humenyuk, United Coordinating Press Center of Operation Command Pivden South, on air during the 24 hours news broadcast, she said that. And I'm quoting, "The fire control that we maintain over the crossing and transport arteries across the Dnipro River is making them realize that they are trapped between the Ukrainian forces and the right bank of the river, namely the units stationed in this part of Kherson Oblast. Therefore, they have been offered a way out in the form of transition under the auspices of international humanitarian law, or to return home, but it is necessary to figure out how." Details. Humenyuk said that the Russian soldiers are demoralized and do not see the purpose of their deployment on this front. That sounds for the rest of Russian army. Hey guys, these are demoralized, so it's okay for you to be the same. That's what the message is. And I'm quoting, "We are receiving information that they, the Russian troops, are really demoralized. They really do not see the point of them being on this front. They see the example of the Eastern Front, and that is very encouraging for them because they understand that such a course of events is also possible." I don't think it's very encouraging for them. I think it's very discouraging for them. But what do I know? They see that it's close to move forward. They see that it is closer to move forward, laying down their arms and go over the POW's exchange fund, than to move to the border, because Kherson Oblast is a long way from the border with Russia, unlike Kharkiv Oblast, and there is a significant obstacle in their way, the Dnipro River, which is currently impassable in any way. I don't believe that. I'm not gonna brag, but I'm kind of okay swimming, let's put it this way. So I don't think that river, I've seen pictures and see, it's a wide river, I'm not saying that, but when you have to choose between freedom and being by Ukrainians, I think that a little bit getting wet and just floating downstream, I think I could do that, than getting there. So Humenyuk also reported cases where the command of Russian units has contacted representatives of Ukraine's armed forces in order to negotiate their surrender. And I'm quoting, "They are subject to thorough inspection." Is that cavity inspection as well? If you know what I mean. So, is it true? I don't think it's true. Because that would mean that all the Russian army from the, let's say, the left side of the river, bank of the river, there's nothing there. I mean, I am certain the Russians have on the other side of the river, if they don't have it here, missiles to send, rockets, mortars, They have things. It's not like, oh my God, we're done. I mean, if they would not have anything, these guys would have surrendered already. It's not that, oh, we're thinking what should do. What should we do? What options you have? Swim or go and meet the Ukrainians? I think first option, I would get it, if that's the case. And you fight another day. People are, Russians are demoralized. Do you think the Ukrainians are not? I mean, for the past 7 months, the Ukrainians been pushed. How do you think their psychology works? The same as the Russians, because they're human. It's not that they are Superman or something like that. So I think this little article was a pure, that's my assessment, based on my experience. This is just a pure propaganda piece where they tell you how, guy, that sounds for all of you. Please surrender, you're lost, your friends over there, they don't care about you. See, these guys are demoralized. We know you are too. If you come here, we're gonna take care of you, we're gonna cuddle you, we're gonna take care of you, and then we're gonna find the beautiful channels of prisoner exchange, and you're gonna stay at the hotels with vodka, with music, dance, ladies of the night. Yeah, okay. And the Russians are like, okay, we're gonna go there. Nah, all right. And that would mean desertion. That would mean treason. Remember Field Marshal at that point, Paulus, in Stalingrad, when Hitler promoted him to that position, the Field Marshal Paulus, tra-la-la. He did that, according to many, to have him do this instead of surrender as he did. Why? Because up till that point, no field marshal surrendered or was captured by anybody. So he just gave them, I promote you, you're done, but you know what you have to do. Paulus did not do that. So, and when he came back, so the Russians, the Soviets got him, did what they did with him, and then they sent him back after years into Eastern Germany. I think he lived in Dresden or Leipzig. I think Dresden, in the eastern side of Germany, East Democratic Republic. So then he died, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 years after he was returned from his captivity. And he said over there everything he had to say. He embarrassed the Germans, he embarrassed them. Anyway, that's what he did. But when he came back, he was not admired for that reason, because he, in the eyes of these people, he just gave up instead of doing the expected military noble thing to do. So I think these guys, I don't know if they have the same military culture, but definitely if they surrender and Russia does not collapse, these people will be seen as a little bit of a lesser man. We'll see. I don't think they will surrender, and I don't think they will encircle. I don't think they will be exterminated over there, destroyed, because I don't think this is the reality. Just so you know, I just have a little bit of skepticism in my blood. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, stay just.